Hello, Twitch and or YouTube. Welcome back to my stream. Thanks for watching. I'm a little delayed today because I got into a fun thread on Twitter where I had looked up a chaise lounge. That's the type of lounge that's like, or a sofa thingy that's uh, long, like therapist offices tend to have them. And then noticed there was a suggestive photo in the Wayfair results, and then posted that in a thread that was actually on someone else's profile. And then I felt weird and deleted it all and was talking about the people on the thread. We were making puns about this suggestive photo with the chaise lounge. Anyway, hi, I'm Josh. I am a full-time independent open source maintainer in the TypeScript ecosystem. I work on tooling that helps you detect bugs, best practice violations, and other issues such as style in TypeScript and also JavaScript code. I work on various things, and today I'm planning on working on something that's not what I normally do. I designed and wrote the Philly JS Club website, which is the site for the Philly JavaScript meetup. I want to say the one. I don't think there are other active ones right now. I might be wrong. Someone please let me know if I'm wrong. And right now the site just is vanilla CSS modules. It doesn't use any kind of fancy styling like Tailwind or Chakra or whatnot. But it's open source, and on the open source repo, we've had an issue for a while that I want to evaluate and choose a styling system. Let me just close all my ancillary applications. There you go. So, posting in the chat. There are a whole bunch of things that I think are really cool and likely the next wave of cutting edge developer styling stuff. For example, Vanilla Extract is a big one. Panda CSS is one that I've done on a previous stream, which is from the same folks as Chakra UI and looks really good. But I want to evaluate all these things. I think Stylex is the one that like Meta uses for Facebook.com. CSS hooks is really interesting too. A lot of these meld the like being able to do it inline, which is very convenient, of Tailwind, with the strong typing and IntelliSense auto completions of like a Chakra. So the next one up that I'm going to try for Philly JS Club website is Vanilla Extract. And if you're interested, I have a pull request already on the repo's website for Panda CSS. Also, my eyes are hurting. Whenever I set up all the studio lighting and stuff for streaming, I find it hard to work in light mode, so I switched to dark mode just for these streams. That's right, I use light mode during the day. Eat it, haters who oversimplify this issue. Cool. So this stream's going to be fairly straightforward, I hope, where I'm going to open the Philly JS Club website locally, check out main, git pull, undo any changes, pull, extend PMPMI, and go through the Vanilla Extract getting started stuff. One second. Cool. So let's talk about it. Do I have an opinion on Tailwind? I do have an opinion. Also, hi, Demian. Thanks for joining as usual. I think Tailwind's awesome. I don't personally like it. I don't use it for my stuff typically. I have used it before. I think it's really convenient and it has a lot of advantages. And I think people who say statements like Tailwind is great or Tailwind sucks are making a fool of themselves. I believe that strongly. I think that we're constantly, as a dev community, learning better and better how to do things, all the different options for styling. And Tailwind is really good in a well-crafted application, like an app that uses Tailwind well. The advantages are that it's really easy to write styles. Like you just do stuff inline. It's very clear what the styles are. And then Tailwind itself comes with a lot of really nice customizability and extensibility options. Like your Tailwind config can set up your tokens, like your colors for you, which is really nice. I think the downside of Tailwind is that it's not very great in TypeScript type system land. Like it doesn't really work well with type checking. You can use plugins, editor extensions, etc., to kind of get a semblance of type checking in it. But at the end of the day, it's just strings. So it's not a types first API. And I think that that's why Tailwind is better at smaller scale than really large scale applications. One common criticism of Tailwind that I see is that people will come across stuff in the wild that looks like, div, whatever, contents, and then there's like class name equals, I don't know, like MB4, MT8, BG blue, I always forget. And then they have like 50 million Tailwind props. This is not a problem with Tailwind. This is a problem with the application developer writing that. It's just as unclear as if you had 50 million CSS props or like box props in other styling systems. And I don't like conflating criticisms of people overloading a single class name with criticisms of how Tailwind or other styling systems are designed. I think a proper way of doing this would be if you have a lot of shared styles, put them in a shared component. Do like a design system approach, even if you're not like a fully fledged enterprise app. So yeah, my thumb is all sore. In summary, Tailwind is really good. Many of the criticisms I think are invalid. There are pros and cons as with anything, and I don't think that long-term Tailwind is a solution that I would advocate for over other like more type-safe solutions. I also love how I lost like half my viewers 6-3, like 10 seconds after I started that rant. So love it. I know this is an area that people have strong emotions on. Cool, thanks. I'm glad. I'm curious if you have opinions on Tailwind. Yeah, I give a talk, by the way, about this. If you're ever curious, type safe style systems, where I talk about like how we went from like old style CSS to modules to CSS and JS to Tailwind and then the future. And Vanilla Extract is one of the future parts that I'm really excited about. Cool. PNPM dev. I think he can scale a little better than your assessment, but I'm a huge fan, so I'm pretty biased. Thank you. Yeah, no, you're right. I am still learning, as we all are, how to appropriately phrase my opinion for this. And yeah, Tailwind does scale well. Thank you for noting. It does scale well. I think especially when you do it well, like when you don't have like giant class name strings, it does scale pretty nicely. You're right. I think that a lot of people underestimate Tailwind because they try it out, they have an initial reaction and they stop there. Or they try it out, they get over the initial reaction, and then they see poor examples of it, and then, that. And it's totally valid to have a I don't like Tailwind as your personal reaction. But I don't like is not the same as it's good or bad. And I think a lot of people also conflate those two. Not everyone. There are plenty of people who have totally valid, I don't likes, but it's hard to phrase I don't like as I don't like rather than it's bad. Ooh, Uno CSS. Great question. Did you ask me? Someone asked me that a bit back. Let me, actually, I forgot to post on Twitter and such that this is Uno CSS. This comes up. Why do people keep mentioning this? Other than it's just really good. I think someone asked on Twitter, maybe. Oh, right. Anthony Fu works on it. That explains why this. Oh, Anthony Fu, who I'm actually interviewing later today for a podcast. In fact, it's private, but it'll be released sometime next few months. All of Anthony's websites are freaking beautiful, by the way. Like this standard theme that he's got, like eslint.style. Look at this freaking thing. This is fantastic. Oh, I love it. Although Uno CSS has the color shifting, ESLint stylistic just sticks on the theme. Yeah, let me look at this. Okay, so yeah, Uno CSS I think is like a halfway between Tailwind and Vanilla Extract. No, No, Uno is closer to Tailwind. I think Uno's really interesting and cool and good, and I think it falls into the camp of like what I mentally include Tailwind in. But I don't like string class names. I think that for me is the big blocker. That to me, long term, I don't want string class names. I want type safe props. Whether that type safety comes from like vanilla extract style, where you have like a .css.ts file, or like a here we go, like this type of thing, or if it comes from like what's commonly called a box component, where your components have like margin bottom and color and whatever as actual props on them. I haven't decided what I prefer, but I want type safety first. Like I want it to be a types first API in usage. And I don't want to have to bolt on some kind of like plugin, header extension, whatever, to validate my class name strings. Does that make sense and answer what you're going at? I guess you just asked if I've tried it. Yes, I've tried it. It looks nice, but not very much, if that's just the question. I see an implicit, give me a detailed explanation in every question I receive, which is probably a negative commentary on my soul. Anyway, recap. I'm hoping to try out a bunch of different styling solutions. Tracking issue. Boop. Yeah, I would love to know. Demian, I'm glad we have a shared opinion on vanilla extract. What have y'all tried in here, such as Uno CSS? Do y'all have hard thoughts? Also, are there systems that I should try out other than what I've already mentioned or looked at? Like so far, I'm planning on looking at. I should actually make a checklist. CSS hooks, Panda CSS, vanilla extract, Stylex, and Tokonami, which is one that's newer to me. Tokonami.style. I love that .style as a domain name, by the way. That's so cute. Where did Tokonami go? Oh, it just redirects to the GitHub. Okay. Yeah, let's get started with vanilla extract.style. So I've got my dev server running on localhost, Philly Jazz Club. It's a very basic remix site. This design theme, by the way, it's a custom theme. Like we didn't like pull in a template from anywhere. We just wrote it ourselves. But the style of design is brutalist. It's like it comes from architecture. And if you ever want to see another example of brutalism, Brutal is like an Astro theme that Elian, one of their devs, wrote, which for some reason they all just crack me up, these brutalists. It's like very like cut and dry, like this is the stuff. Okay, DJ, you've done Bootstrap, Foundation, CSS modules, and Tailwind. You've found Tailwind to be great for the past few years and haven't had much I needed to change about it. Beautiful. Perfect. I'm glad it works for you. Truly, that's not sarcasm or whatever. Like, if it works, it works. Like, we're constantly as an industry iterating and getting better and better. So even the stuff that like is really common now, like Tailwind, is like cutting edge, best of the best, amazing, incredible for what we would have had like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I think most people have mostly done like Tailwind and CSS modules. Like those are the most common like current rounds of things that I see in the wild. Because they're just the easiest to work with. Like it's props to them. Like they both, like CSS modules are in like basically every framework, SCSS or CSS. And then Tailwind's just got amazing integration. Like Tailwind docs and integration guides are phenomenal. Like truly cutting edge, best of the best. And that's not a diss, by the way, against these newer frameworks like Vanilla Extract. They're newer, they're still under development. Panda CSS isn't even like marked, like it doesn't have a CSS plugin. Like they're very new. So anyway, Philly Jazz Club, standard website. It's with Remix. We just hard coded a theme into it. I actually didn't even use CSS modules, just to keep it very straightforward and simple. Just CSS variables across root.css to set up variables, I want to say, and shared.css for styles. It's all like very basic. Like the classes are referenced by name, not with CSS modules or anything, which is ironic given that that's the exact thing I'm trying to avoid. And also, this is one of my favorite little snarky comments. I knew setting this up that as soon as someone saw that we didn't have like actual styling systems like vanilla or extract or Tailwind or whatever, they would come at us with, yo, you should try Tailwind or whatever. We know. So yeah, vanilla extract. How does this thing work? Well, their homepage actually has a really good reference. What you do is you create a theme somewhere in your application where you might have like your color.brand is blue, color.white is FFF, might have spacing, might have other things. And then later in .css.ts files, you might have like vars.color.brand or whatever. Which means that you get nice type safety. Like if you misspell a thing or like just use the wrong name, you get the TypeScript errors. This is not a vanilla extract error. It's not letting you know in vanilla extract systems, hey, we see you're dynamically looking something. It's a TypeScript error. These are strongly typed variables, which is awesome. And I want to show an example of doing that. So let's get started. There is a guide for Remix somewhere. So on a previous stream, I actually added a Remix integration or sent a pull request, and then I realized now that I didn't add it to this list. Whoops. But yeah, they rewrote it a bit. So let's go to my Vite, Remix config. So there is a C vanilla extract remix for details. So I'm gonna go to that. Install vanilla extract CSS. First, ensure you set up CSS bundling in your application. Okay. So now I'm actually a little... Okay, so I guess it wants me to install Remix run CSS, but oh right, I npm install, but I should have pnpm installed. Whoopsies. All right, pnpm install Remix run CSS bundle. Then in root.tsx, my links look a little differently from theirs. Maybe this like site is old or something. But let's just import the CSS, bundle href. I see that I have link hrefs here, so I'm going to go ahead and just add a manual link. I don't have a links function. I have just in the app head. I don't know if that's bad or good or whatever. Okay, great. So I'm going to see now if CSS bundling, I haven't added vanilla extract. I've just added CSS bundling per the Remix guide, which I will post in the chat actually. Boop. And okay, no complaints. Link. Yeah, let me copy and paste the HTML. Let's start looking for links. Let's format this as HTML so I can actually look around. And there is a blank style sheet. What? Link probably equals style sheet. Where's that coming from? That's the third one. Okay, so there's no actual bundle href yet. So that's fun. Maybe it'll come up when I add in a thing. Styling vanilla extract. All right, so got vanilla extract CSS. I can just opt it into, for example. All right, so let's try this. Let's go to like just some component like arrow or something, and arrow.css.ts. Let's try this out. call this arrow. And I'm just going to give it some real ugly props. Just to make it very clear whether the thing is being used. Arrow. So I'm importing arrow from, it looks like a CSS import, but what's actually happening is it's arrow.css.ts. Maybe start dev server just in case. Which means the arrow should, holy crap, that was fast. What a good onboarding guide. Or experience, rather. Cool. Someone did note on Twitter that I should try out the V integration. So I might look into that later. But for now, this is looking great. I can get started with this. So I'm just going to quickly send a pull request so I can link it in the chat, just a draft one. Check out B vanilla extract. Oh, I closed the tab with the link to the vanilla chore onboard panda CSS. Chore onboard vanilla extract. One of these days I'll fix my PGP keys or whatever. All right. Throwing up as a draft reference for now. I'm still working on it. Mentioned by, here we go, 84. A reference for number 84. Draft. I'm honestly really pleased at how quick that was. I just installed a couple of things in the package JSON. Should figure out which one should be dev or not dependencies. So we can ignore that, pm block. I added a thing to the root CSS bundle, which actually reminds me, let's take a look and see if that bundle actually has something now. Link. Okay, yeah, now it does have a built bundle. Post 3000, build, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so this is actually a really nice demonstration of what vanilla extract creates. It creates a class name corresponding to the styles that you specified. And then there's that auto-generated suffix there. Cool. One of these days, if I end up going with vanilla extract, I'm going to want to write a plugin that turns that into an emoji because I think that's really cute. Anyway. Yeah. So this is nice. This is real nice. But what I want to do, well, first I gotta post in the chat. What I want to do is start going through my styles one by one and switch them over from my like 1 or 2 global CSS things over to vanilla extract styles. And one thing to note is that I just so far using literal strings like 5px red, but one of the nice features of vanilla extract is that you can have tokens. So I'm going to want to create theme in some way. So the way this is set up is you have a theme, I think that's css.ts, theme.css.ts. With create theme vanilla extract, and then later on in your components, if you want to refer to the theme, you can. So let's do that here. Let's put arrow CSS referring to background vars, nice little auto import, dot color dot, look at that beautiful little auto completion right there. Let's get that back. Brand. Let's switch brand to green just to make it clearly updated. And it's not updating. Do I have to pm dev? I don't know what those errors were. I don't want to find out. No route matches sw.js. I don't know what that is. Probably something about service workers. Why is the background not doing? I immediately we're hitting some issue. So the background, so we are getting a CSS variable, but it's not showing up as a defined CSS variable, which means I'm probably, you know what it is? I need theme class. Theme class is a class name that needs to be used, right? Because the way that these class name, here, let's put the theme class in HTML. There we go. There we go. The way that these CSS variables are declared, it's within this theme class created by the theme. That makes sense. There we go. So now color brand whatever is that, and then we can see that there's an auto-generated theme class, which is used on HTML. There you go. Booyah. Love it. Works. So let me push that. Working theme class. Awesome. So now what I can do actually is I can start converting things over to my components. And as I come across things that refer to root styles, I can move them over, copy them over to my theme. So I'm going to copy like CSS variables such as color background. Here we go. And foreground from the root. Very nice, very good. And then use those in my styles. Yay. So if we look at the shared styles for arrow, arrow is margin 0. Can that be a number? It can. Margin 0, and that's the only style for arrow. Dot arrow. Seriously? Okay. All right. Then we have const arrow back equals style height 0.70 em, margin left. Oh, look again with the auto completion. Look, margin left. I got autocomplete on it. It's very nice. Margin left 0.1 em, width 0.70 em. In theory, I could like set up a JavaScript variable or a like theme token for 0.70 em. I don't feel like it. Export const arrow out. Someone I think on a previous stream showed me a nice website that converts from one system to another. But Austin, how's it going? Good to see you again. I'm out here converting my raw CSSing shenanigans to vanilla extract. Been meaning to try this for a while. All right, so that looks good. Arrow out. So now I just need to, in my arrow TSX, switch from instead of class name quote arrow to the arrow that's imported from arrow.css. Ooh. Yes, I am. Was it you who suggested StyleX? I liked Panda. It's still super early stage, as these kind of all are. But yeah, the tracking issue has the list of stuff I want to try out. Well, awesome. I'm glad multiple people are mentioning it. CSS hooks, Panda, StyleX, Vanilla Extract, and Tokonami are on the list. If there's anything else there, someone let me know. Yeah, I'm probably going to end up with like a blog post or conference talk or some such or all of those out of this because I'm really amused by this. I gave a couple of talks, the same talk a couple of times a few months ago, mentioning, yeah, really can't wait for styling systems. And at the time, I only really knew about Vanilla Extract, and then StyleX came out. And now there are like at least 3 others that people have been mentioning. Have you tried these things out, StyleX and such? Have you come to opinions? Cool. So I converted arrow over, styles there. So that should work nicely. You're building your own? Oh, you tried. So this should work. It does suck. I'm not trying it out because it's not like a, I don't know, everyone should use this type of thing. It's like a company specific one. But Codecademy has its own thing called Gamut. Color mode dark? Why is this showing up as dark or light mode? But the reason why I love these things is because when I was at Codecademy, other folks on the web platform team like did a really good job at designing this. Shout out in particular Aaron Robb. So like, where's box? So like in Codecademy, we have components like this box, which then let you put in arbitrary other things in it. Like box border equals 1, P for padding equals 8. And that's the kind of props design that things like Panda are moving towards. Yeah, I really liked Panda. Panda's good stuff. And I think there's a really interesting like mindset shift that we're doing here, where instead of having like arbitrary strings floating around, which can be very nice and convenient, you have like more tightly integrated to your types stuff. You don't like props-based design stuff? Explain. There are a lot of valid reasons to make that statement. I'm not trying to judge. Cool. Yeah, it's like one of my criticisms of the string approach is, yeah, like in this one, it was a totally, yeah, it is a real deep combo. Like totally random, like string here, arrow back that happens to correspond to some styles. Whereas actually what I'd like to do is like base it off of, I don't know, like a variant, we'd call it, like variant equals back or forward, right? And actually that brings up a question of how does Vanilla Extract do variants? Here we go. Cool. So you have composition. I love this. By the way, props and respect for you to not falling into the trap of someone asks you for your opinion on a deep, nuanced, emotionally charged topic. So the way that Vanilla Extract would do it is we have base, which I guess is arrow, and then we have create style, or just style variants here, style variants. So we have back and then forward, which is base. Yeah, for sure. I agree. See, this is one of the things a lot of folks mess up with nuanced conversations. Some just are really difficult to do over text. And yet we still keep talking about them on Twitter in that way. Surprise, things go wrong. All right, so on the arrow back variant, we have these props. And on the arrow out variant, I guess that's what I called it, back and out, we have these props. Whoops, these ones. Yeah. So now when I have my arrow props, notice how the type for this is actually a lot simpler than I thought it would be. It's a record from the key, which is like an object with these keys and that value. The keys are string back or string out, and the value is some string class name. So now I can do variant, which is back or out. So it's going to be to do get from style variants. There's got to be a way to get that out automatically. And then I can do class name equals arrow of variant. Beautiful. So now the arrow gives either these styles plus the base or these styles plus the base, depending on whether you pass in back or out as the variants. And they don't have a TypeScript guide that I can find to getting those things nicely. Is there like a utility type I can get here? So immediately I'm seeing that I want a I wanted a... Is there a type utility for this? I want like a type utility or something. I might end up filing in a docs issue. There might be a type utility. I don't know. It's not mentioned in the docs, and I don't have the time and energy to find out. So I'm just going to leave it as is. This is fine with the to-do. And the to-do will be on me to file a docs issue, which might end up becoming a feature request. But yeah, this is great. Now I'm going to find all references to arrow. I see rotates is variant equals out. Oh yeah, and the rotation actually is really dependent on the variance. So I think the rotation should be handled by the styling here. So let's do that. Transform, rotates. So when we're doing back, it's, I don't know, that's a comma there. And then when we're doing forward, it's -45. Yep. So rotate is no longer a valid prop. Alrighty. Oops, I was going through all the references. So that's 1. Event details is done. 2, rotate -45. So that's variance equals out. And then, there we go, 180 for the back. Variance equals back. In theory, I could auto-generate the label too from the variance, but in practice, I think I'm going to leave that open just in case folks want to have a different label, like if it's a more specific arrow. Been burned before. Okay. Well, the transform isn't applying. That's unfortunate. Do I need... Oh, I need to save the file. I didn't save the file. Oh boy, invalid CSS for my rotate. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. What does it look like on prod? I bet you that I'm missing like an implicit degrees or something. Where's that rotates? Yep, it's deg. D-E-G degrees. And there we go. Localhost rotated. Yay, rotation. Then if I go to about, yep, you got the back arrow nicely. Let me brutalist design. Good stuff. Let's commit. Working arrow variants. I will change that eventually. So that's nice. I just got rid of several class names from my fancy global ones. So I'm pleased. Curious if anyone already has thoughts on how this system looks to them. Ooh, excuse me. What I'm gonna do next is go through all the components and switch them over the way I just did now. I will note actually that there is actually I think there are 2 solutions that build on top of Vanilla Extract to get more of a like styling system, the way that like Panda looks. So Vanilla Extract, I should actually note. In addition to that, there's what do they call it? Sprinkles, I think is just the term. Sprinkles. Oh boy, 3 different utility libraries. Sprinkles, recipes, dessert box, and there's also wait, I recognize that face. The Mighty Penguin. Yeah, there's also rainbow sprinkles, I think. I don't love Vanilla Extract. Can't put my finger why it's a lot of point. Yeah, I think Rainbow Extract kind of exists halfway between CSS modules and a full system. I think they're really trying to nail this layer, really competing with CSS modules more. And then the thing that will result on top is still like later stage. I agree. So I'm going to say to do, I'll also want to try out layers on top, such as sprinkles. Yeah, it's a CSS TS extension. So it really is a lot closer in vibe to CSS modules, I think, than like a Chakra or Panda. And rainbow sprinkles. That's CSS. There you go. Rainbow sprinkles. Yeah, I don't want to go through the entire list of them now to see what is or isn't viable yet or eventually, but at least those two I think will probably end up being useful to look at. Yay. All right. Cool. I apologize. I really have to use the bathroom. So 1 minute ad break. Sorry, bye. Sorry about that. I'm back. And also forgot to unmute. Yeah, for anyone who's still here, let's keep going. So I'm just going to go through the index page and then look at all the components it imports and then the components they import to get to my what's called leaf nodes, components that import no others. For example, the first one is event details, which imports arrow, which I just did. So event details now has its classes. So I'm going to open those on the left. And then make a new event details.css.ts. Just copying from arrows stuff. Gonna export const event details equals style. In fact, actually, I'm realizing I kind of just want to import star as. Can I do import star as? Instead of like importing the individual class names, can I do import star as styles? That way I don't have to like manually massage my imports. Pretty sure that's allowed. Register now. Yep. Back arrow. Great. Import star as. Okay, so export const event details equals margin 1.5 rams 0. And then, oh, we actually have a variant here. I'm going to have to zoom out to see all this at the same time. Let me know if that zoom isn't doing it for anyone. You know what? No, I'll just move this around. I think I can get a bit more space in the middle. Yeah, so I see we have, well, first of all, the weight is light or medium. So I can just go back to the arrow style of a base and then event details. So there's light event details and medium event details. Where light has font weight var font weight light. So I'm actually going to want to do a vars dot font weights dot light. So I'm going to have to font weight. Let's make it a nested object. Weights. Move that theme down there. Roots. So where are my weights? These ones. There you go. Learner! Good to see you. How's it going? And why is this complaining? This token must be strings. Because it was complaining. Type numbers, not assignable type string or tokens. String. So I'm just going to remove that body. I don't use it yet. Alrighty. So now I got vars dot font dot weight dot light. Very nice. Okay. And then for my event details that isn't light, I have nothing. So medium is just base. Can I do that? Nope, has to be an array. Okay. So for event deals, there's the base style, which is only 1.5 vertical rem margin, horizontal nothing. And then if it's light variant rather than medium, we also give a font weight light. Okay, and then I'll have to do around this. If there's a margin top, so I think this should work. Nope. Can't have. Okay, so not allowed that. So how does vanilla extract do siblings? Sibling? Complex selectors. Here we go. Selectors object. Okay. So if I do, well, I'm glad you're able to learn more. Good luck with the other stuff. All right. This should work. Just to be careful, I'm going to give it a color blue bang important, just to make sure that it's really clear whether this sibling selector event details plus event details is happening. The reason I added there is I wanted sibling, like event select, like the second and third and so on, and the same children should be differentiated. Like there should be a margin top. Although honestly, I don't know why I didn't do it so that the container has gap 3 rem in the flex layout. Probably would have been better. Anyway, class name equals CLSX. So just combine the classes. Style plural. So import styles from event details CSS and then styles dot event details. And eventually I'll have no more plain strings and it'll just be the stuff here. Visbug. Ooh, that's cool. Oh, a Firebug for designers. I remember that extension. That was a good time. Then we have weights. So yeah, the event details is a record. It's an object with light and medium keys and then string as value. So weight, which is light or medium. And events. Let's go to the homepage actually, because the homepage has this event. And then if I go to phillyjs.com, am I zoomed in or something? I was zoomed in. Nice. Problem is we only have one upcoming event listed, so I can't test that event plus event is looking right. So I'm going to go ahead and just like copy events JSON, just make a copy of this, Put it on the next date. Copy. Make it a 3-hour event. Indie Hall 2. Whatever. And look at that. My sibling selector is working. Got the blue. Very nice. So I can remove that. Remove this. And yeah. Event details looks good. So I'm going to continue through the rest of the component. So we don't need that. What is this medium class? Let's take a look in the dev tools. Event details. What is so medium is a general class that applies font size, the var font size medium, and font weight medium. Got it. That's right. In Panda CSS, they have like a text styles concept. I don't know how Vanilla Extract does like shared styling. Let me commit then, and then I'll start looking into it. Event details variants. Composition. So that that's for a single style. These are all like so what I could do is I could like make a shared file, like shared styles or something. But it would be nice to know if there's like a specific thing for what I'm trying to do. Fallback. No. Theming. Variants. No, that's like color mode and such. What is assign variables? More fine-grained control. Ooh, responsive theme. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Font face. Nope, I will have to get to that later. Layer. That's not what I'm going for. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a CSS utils. Oh, calc dots, chainable expressions. Oh, that's cool. But no, that's not what I'm looking for. All right, so like the layer on top of vanilla might have something for this, but I'm just gonna make like a theme. Export const fonts equals style variants. Then medium, which is font. What was medium again? Dot medium. Font size. Theme. Vars dot font dot weight dot medium, and then I'll also want a size dot medium. Cowface, good to see you again. Font dot size dot medium. Current company is 3 years old, but already has a bunch of spaghetti code that I'm pushing to move to TypeScript or go to Golang. Been a while since looking at TypeScript. Yeah, TypeScript's great at encouraging people to be strongly typed, and also great at helping to move to Golang. As in, people see types and they go, oh, might as well write something else. Funny. All right, so size. Good luck with that move. Spaghetti code is the worst. All right, so for my sizing, I have a bunch of these set up already. There you go. So now I have in my theme font size and font weight variables, which I can then reference in like fonts, let's say. So now I'm saying fonts, auto import from theme dot medium. Beautiful. I mean, this is such a good value prop description for like TypeScript and vanilla extract style things. Just like strong typing, let me auto import fonts dot medium, and now this is type safe. So like if I did like middle or some typo, it would let me know, hey, middle doesn't exist. If I did like mem3 or something, it would let me know, oh, did you mean medium? Quick fix changed to medium. Love it. All right. So I've removed the old medium class name. Oh, and there's a difference. Look at that. Padding's different in some way. What's going on here? Why does prod have that padding and this one not? Page grid left, next John. So the article has margin top. Because there's a custom style thingy that does on root line 25. Where is it? Oh yeah, I was looking at this. So any body text that's large or medium, that's a sibling of any body text large or medium, gets margin top 1rem. Yeah, that's not good CSS what I'm doing. Why did I do that? I should have just made like flex layouts or something with that. Well, so the margin top really is 2.5 rem for this, really. It's whenever you have anything that's medium or large or so on, followed by anything. So really it's that the page grid needs to have, or like this article needs to have more margin top. Yeah, I'm going to give it 2.5 rem margin top. Screw it. Yeah, you're stuck in a rock and a hard place, right, Cowface? A lot of typing to represent your complex systems, but then instead of dealing with the complex systems, you have the mispleasure of dealing with the typing. Almost like complex systems are bad. But then, of course, well, we all write complex systems. So what happens is the industry ends up standardizing on like shared utilities and patterns for simplifying complex stuff, and that's good. This is a little off. I'm fine with it. It's close enough, I think. Okay. So this works. My article for event details is fully converted, at least the root class, over to vanilla extract. Let's put a work in progress. Fonts. Shared fonts along with theme. And eventually I'll have to do whatever equivalence of medium, like dot body text and dot smaller and such. Convert those over, but I don't need to yet. Because for now I can just do, let's see, event details date and other event details classes, of which there are about 3. So const date equals style, font size, vars fonts dot size dot large. Oh yeah, that was nice. Margin bottom 1 rem. Export const topics equals style margin 2 rem 0 1 rem. Export const topic singular equals style margin 25 rem 0. Zoop. Style. Why did I use CLSX? No, it didn't. Styles.date. Styles.topics, plural, and then styles.topic. I've worked with nice TS libraries from Cowface and chat, the ones wherein you need to work. Love the word wherein. Great. The ones wherein you need to work with minimal typing and everything works with type inference. Preach. That is how it should work. Complex types are a symptom of complex code. So if the library exposes simple types, straightforward ones, rather than complex ones, that's a good indication it's doing a good job of hiding that complexity from you in a good way. Love it. For sure. All right, this looks good to me. Happy with the event details. It's basically the same thing, close enough. So I'm going to say finished event details. Finished event details. Yay. All right, event details doesn't import any more components. I already did arrow, so moving back to index and going down 1 to page grid, which only imports arrow. So now, and it's even on the left already right next to it, I can start converting page grid. CSS TS to vanilla extract. Also, since it's been just about an hour, hey everyone, I'm Josh. For those who are new, welcome to the stream or the recording. I work full-time in open source. I'm independent. I mean, I'm in the TypeScript ecosystem. So if y'all have any questions, feel free to chat. Also, feel free to look. That's fine too. Mo Abo, hi bro. I'm watching from Egypt, trying to learn something from you. Awesome. Hello. That's so cool. Thanks for watching. If anything I'm saying, you or anyone else, you're finding unclear or want to ask more clarifying questions on, please do. That's awesome. Never been to Egypt. But, sometimes people come on from there. That makes me... It's cool to, just how many different places you get to talk to people from when you do, stuff online. All right, so PageGrid doesn't look like it has any variants here. So I can just do a export const PageGrid equals and then copy the styles over. I also don't really want to manually convert these over. So I'm going to find CSS to, there we go, transform.tools. What a great freaking website. Doesn't have dark mode though. Look at that. Ugh, love it. Copy and paste over. I'm going to paste in the chat. By the way, Mobo, if you're here and willing to talk, I'd love to know, what are you up to? You a dev? New, old? What do you work with? Anything in particular you want to learn? Shout out transform.tools. Okay, so transform tools, the page grid styles. So I should be able to get rid of these. Class name equals styles.page grid, where I'm going to import star as styles from page grid.css. And looks like the grid is working just as well as it... Nope. Something is poopy. So this is a good example of debugging in CSS. Something is different between production, which is working, and dev, my local, which is not. So I'm going to select the component and see what's the first component in the chain that's different. So I see the article here as 100% width. Let's see, main page grid left. The main has width that's different. And then page grid with my auto generated class name. Aha, I see. Oh, I might have missed something. There's a dot page grid in production. That's, oh, there we go. Missed it. Yep. Ooh, you're a WordPress developer, but you think page builders are going to end my job soon, so I'm searching for new aspirations. Cool. I haven't worked in WordPress much ever. I actually used to do Drupal back in the day. But yeah, I think that's an awesome thing. Now that you already know the foundations, moving to something like Next.js, as you say, is good investment, I think. But I don't know very much about the WordPress devs, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I'm a big proponent of learning the fundamentals, the transferable skills, React, which is used in things such as Next.js, or JavaScript and TypeScript, which are used in things such as React, for sure. Right, I actually realize now, I don't know where Vanilla Extract, or how Vanilla Extract does responsiveness. So let's go back to the Vanilla Extract docs, response, media queries. Where are media queries? What's the stack I work with? Great question. Definitely TypeScript. Big fan of TypeScript. Buy my book. I generally really like React. I personally don't do I try not to solidify too much because I'm independent. I don't work for one specific company, so it's useful for me to have general familiarity with a lot of things. The last time I chose a stack for a company or was part of the team that chose that was a couple years ago, at Codecademy, where we went with React, TypeScript, Next.js. Good, solid investment. That being said, the site I'm currently working on is Remix, and we're currently trying out different styling solutions. But yeah, I think learning React is a really good investment, and that'll help you decide whether you like Next.js, Remix, and so on. Also TypeScript. Big ups on TypeScript. So okay, media queries. You can embed at media. You can do selectors. Okay. So I would do here media. So then media is grid template columns. What is it? Oh, I need to have a selector. So that's width greater than equals 1,000. Then grid. There we go. So like one of the reasons why I like TypeScript, for example, is, well, for starters, most of the enterprise and like job places are using TypeScript by now, at least the ones that are actively hiring that I've seen. They all use it. A lot of places, not everyone, but a lot of places use it. Also, it's just a really great dev tool. Like it's giving me autocomplete here because it knows based on how Vanilla Extract describes itself that, okay, the object you're writing there, that takes in as a key any of the CSS property names. Grid template columns. Let's copy and paste it over. How did I get work as a freelancer? Great question. So I'm actually, I haven't done a lot of freelance work recently. I did some last year, the year before, but I developed my reputation online. I'm kind of like what you'd call a developer's developer. Like I work on dev tools in open source. I do things that developers would or may know about. I'm not so egotistical to think that everyone should or does. So I like did stuff in open source, had a blog, started speaking at meetups, then conferences. And then that got me exposure to places that use the tools I work on. So I'm not a great person to try to get information for like being a freelance dev out of, because I just don't have a lot of experience in it. But I do have some. And a lot of it was just exposure. Like I worked with someone at one point and they referred me. Or like I worked on a tool that someone used and then they asked for help with it. So a lot of being a freelancer from my experience is being able to prove you know what you're talking about, that you're able to do the things they need. And sometimes that proof can be things like peer referrals, open source projects, a good portfolio, speaking at conferences, other things. Yeah, life is good. Have you ever done freelance work? I'm curious. But while you're answering, page grid looks like it works. So I'm going to continue down to the remaining styles. So I see I'm going to have to make page grid header. I'm going to have to make that responsive, but in the meantime. Oh, cool. So I work in, by open source, I mean like I work on like shared open source libraries like ESLint, for example. And I actually need to update my /projects page. But these are the biggest ones I work on. I need to add ESLint there, and Mocha. But like most of the tools that I write are like small open source things, like libraries you might include in a bigger tools source code type stuff. Oh, awesome! If you've got experience making websites for companies, you probably know more than me about freelancing. I should be asking you questions. Page grid header. Let's make a new style for this. Display flex direction column, and then grid area header. Look at this, I made a typo and it let me know. It's not GERD, it's grid. Fun fact, I've found TypeScript to be helpful for folks who aren't English first language because it's very easy to have typos, like adding a U to color because some tools support it, some don't. So now I'm seeing that in media, width greater equal to 1000 px. We have these styles: text line right, top 2 rem, z index 1. But we also have these shared ones. I'm not sure. I guess I could do like const header and footer equals style media. I guess this is a reasonable way of doing that. Where I notice I'm copying and pasting this same selector a lot. Not a huge fan of that. There you go. That's not right. How do I combine two things again? I think Arrow did it. But Arrow has style variants. Oh, is it an array? I think it's an array. And nope. Not allowed that. How do I compose in Vanilla Extract? Compose, composition. I should be allowed to do that. Style takes in an array. Oh, style takes in an array at the root level, not where I'm calling it. Here I'm calling it as a child. So I want to do this as an array. Come on. Come on. God dang it. Why isn't that working? Style, which takes in, I'm going to collapse page grid. I have the base, which is header and footer, which is a style. And then I have style, which takes in an array, which is the base and an object. Why are they yelling at me? Something about this? What? Why is this not allowed? What is the type error? Right. Types of property media are not compatible. Property width isn't compatible with index signature. It's an array. Oh, I switched this to an array. Whoopsies. All right, there we go. We're happy. All right. I got a lint rule complaining that I have two definitions in a row for the same thing. That's fine. So let's look at my website, and it looks... Did I zoom in? Why is it yelling at me? Oh, why is it different? God dang it. Did I miss something about page grid header? Oh, I forgot to... I commented out on the styles, but then forgot to update the component to use the new thing. Styles.pageGridHeader. There we go. And there we go. Now it's looking the same. Awesome. Yay. So now I'm going to move on to PageGridFooter because I see they're kind of using some of the same stuff. Styles.pageGridFooter doesn't exist yet, so it'll yell at me, so I'm going to make it. PageGridFooter equals style. I'll move it down. Which takes in an array containing header and footer, and then the specific styles for the PageGridFooter, which will be some things for the base, and then also media with the same 1000 px per point. I should really find a way to like share that as a constant. I don't know if there's a built-in way to do that. Let's transform, get a copy and paste there. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I did write a book. I don't know what's going on, by the way, with stream elements. Let me look into that. So I did try to set it up so that I can like do little exclamation mark commands. I don't know why it's not working. But yeah, learningtypescript.com. Buy it today. I will say, though, for learning TypeScript, the book assumes you know JavaScript. And I tried to make it very clear that like it's only trying to teach TypeScript, not JavaScript. But yeah, I stand by the book. I think it's a good book. I actually been meaning to promote. I just got the German translation in the mail, and I think the Chinese translation is going to get delivered to me today. So I need to tweet that out. Fun fact about the German translation, actually. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Jens Olaf Koch, I'm guessing, did a phenomenal job, and I want to give them a shout out online soon too of translating. He went above and beyond. Gave like a bunch of like grammatical suggestions and clarity improvements that I think really made the book better. So really pleased about that. Anyway. And great, then that the book is for you. Oh, I copied this and never pasted. Yay. And PageGridFooter. Another one that I don't particularly want to manually retype. So I see here there are two variables that are being used. So I'm going to switch those over to vars.font.size.medium and then vars.font.weight.large. That's what they are equivalents of. So remove this. And that's the footer there on the bottom. Looking good. Basically the same. Hooray. Let's move on. Page grid title. Page grid title. Only used in one place. Should be nice and easy. Famous last words I know. For const page grid title equals style. Font size, vars.font.size.title, weights, vars.font.weight.title, line height. Ooh, this might be a new variable to make. Vars.lineheight.title, I'm going to guess I want to call it. So I'm going to have to put that in my theme. Line heights, which will be titles something. Dot title. Why is weight complaining? Oh, font weight, not weights. And where is my line height title variable defined? In this project, I happen to know it's defined in the root.css file. So let me just copy those over. Using my fancy CSS clamp functions. By the way, CSS, great thing to learn. No matter what front-end framework you're using, it's got to have CSS at some point. Danny, hello. Welcome back. How's it going? What are you up to? I, on my part, am going through the vanilla extract point of comparison for the Philly JS Club website. Styles.page grid title. I'm realizing now I don't need to call it page grid header or page grid title. I can just say page grid. And here's a nice little value prop for TypeScript. Instead of page grid header, I'm going to rename this to just header. I pressed F2 on my keyboard, typed a new name. Voila, intelligent. Changing. Footer. Title. Hell yeah. Oh, awesome. What did you contribute to Biome? That just shipped. Congrats. Life is good. By the way, I want to make sure I don't go over today because I have a meeting at 12:30, so in 40 minutes or so my time. Tailwind class running. Oh, nice. That's awesome. Speaking of styling systems, I like Tailwind. I don't use it myself. Sorry, I should say I don't like using Tailwind myself, but I like Tailwind in general. I think it's a nice solution. I need to find better ways of referring to that. Someone asked earlier, and I gave like a 20-minute explanation of my opinion. All right, so page grid left. It's got two things there. Oh yeah, I should make sure. As I change each class, I want to remember to check that it still works. Oh yeah, how did you find Rust? I've heard it's like really a whole thing to get into, like high learning curve, but it finds a lot of issues. Like it's a really good compiler with, from what I've seen, great error messages, which I respect greatly. Yeah, the framework is one called Vanilla Extract. It looks more like CSS modules than Tailwind style. But it's like super type safe and generates classes for you on the inside. So I like to think of it as like a layer on top of CSS modules, where it's typed first. Oh yeah, you've used Vanilla Extract. Awesome. Yeah, I would want like another level of abstraction personally. Like I would want like Panda CSS or Rainbow Sprinkles or something, like a layer on top that lets me have like component props rather than my separate CSS styles personally. But I think this is a step forward from modules. Yeah, it's really nifty, all these systems. So we got left, page grid left converted over. Let's just make sure it still looks good. Yep. Page grids. Oh my God, it still looks good because hang on a second. It still looks good even though I deleted its styles and it still looks good. That's funny. Well, I'm assuming that there'll be something that comes up later. I haven't gone through and I don't want to try to like figure out which styles are unused now. Ugh, I love it when a language makes you spoiled. That's awesome. Page grid subtitle. Page grid subtitle. Export const subtitle equals style. Oh man, my stomach is starting to growl. Let me know if you start to hear it on the stream. Font size, vars.font.size.larger. Font weight, vars.font.weights.title. Line height, vars.line height.larger. Oop. Vars.line height. Line height larger even a thing? It's not. That is an actual dead style. Whoopsies. Text transform uppercase. You know, implicit return I've always been a little negative on. I haven't tried it in Rust. I haven't done anything with Rust beyond like a hello world and type stuff, but implicit returns, I always feel like it's easy to accidentally return something like a function, the result of a function call. And I don't know. If you say it's nice, that you've come to like it a lot, I believe you. DJ Cool Software, who are you guessing? which side of implicit returns and everything is an expression? I like everything as an expression, as an idea. That's nice. Ooh. All right, subtitle. This thingy looking good, very nice. Footer separator. Impossible to return the wrong type. There's no return type inference in Rust. Do you not miss return type inference? I really like return type inference in TypeScript. Yeah, I guess that is exactly what worries me. So if it's explicit return types, that's nice. Then no complaints about implicit returns. Yeah, I think DJ Cool Software and I are on the same page. But then I have the complaint of, I like my implicit return types. I'm gonna styles. What was this again? Styles.subtitle. Again with the no changes. Whoops. I wonder if it's like a cached styling or something. Anyway, class name goes arrow back. That's an unnecessary class name. I switched that to just being the variant. For the link. That's a good delineation. TypeScript is a doc system, whereas Rust has an actual type system. Yeah, that's true. Trade-offs. Interesting. DJ Cool Software, do you always have the return type be explicit then? Like in function declarations and such? So footer link is padding 0. Footer link. And then how do I do... Oh, I saw this. The Tailwind site. I forget how to do it. How do I do .active in Tailwind? I think it was under this page, complex selectors. That's what it is, selectors. I do miss being able to do these inline though. Active. Text decoration. Oop, text decoration. There it is. Underline. Footer link. Oh boy. Oh boy, I remember now. I did these wacky styles for this thing. So every page footer link that's not the first of its type or after a page grid footer separator. God, why did I do that? Cool. Why did I do it this way? It was so cute at the time. I was like, oh, look at my fancy CSS styles. I feel so good about this. And then, ugh. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make footer links a variant. So export const footer link equals style variants with base. How do I do style variants again? It takes in an object where each thing is an array. Okay. So, what is it? Base, footer link base, and then first or starter. Footer link base. Yeah, so the starter one is going to have selectors before. So if I have a footer link that has variant starter, then it's going to have all these styles added to it. So I'm moving some of the logic back to the JSX. This is fine. So like it's every one that's the first of its type or after a footer separator. So like right here, this would be, let's switch this over. Last name equals styles dot footer link something based by default. And then let's make starter, auto fix to the dot. Starter. Let's call this inline. Okay. Then the footer link base. Okay. Love this discussion in the chat, by the way, about Rust and such. Very cool. And okay, I might have swapped my footer styles. Whoopsies. So the starter has the before right now. Let's switch to inline having the before. Yep, that's what it should have been. Okay, great. Great. And then export const footer separator style, which has flex basis. So this is like a 100% width thing that stops the links from being on the same line. Okay. Pattern matching, by the way, big fan. I cannot wait for it to land in JavaScript. So excited about that. And I forgot to use the new style. Styles dot footer separator. There you go. Wow, I think I got all the class names in PageGrid. None more in shared. None more in great. Finished. Or I was going to say converted PageGrid. Love it. So page, and let's see, I've got a little under 250 lines left in the shared CSS. That's very exciting. Moving back to PageGrid. That's the last component imported by index. Very nice. Hell yeah. And we're good. Good for PageGrid. So now I need to move to other routes. Let's go to about. Oh yeah, so for those who haven't seen result-based error handling, what if instead of throwing an error, which is very not type safe and can be hard to predict because it's not part of your function signature, there's no safe way to explicitly annotate which errors any particular code might throw, because you never know which errors are unintentional. What if you just returned the error or the right result? And TypeScript folks have been doing this a little more and more over the years with like union, like tagged or discriminated unions. Very cool stuff. If all those words made no sense, don't worry about it. But the general idea is throwing errors is not type safe because code might throw errors that you don't expect because of bugs. So having explicitly like a return type that has either the success or the failure in the type, forcing you to handle both, is safer for code. I like that a lot. And then, yeah, Rust has like nice pattern matching. Let's look at that actually. Rust pattern matching. Yeah, so, look at this. This is beautiful. Based on, or match on what X is, if it's 1, 2, 3, and then otherwise. And this gets so nice. And you can do like really complex expressions where like, depending on, say you have a point, whatever you call it, if it has any X and then a Y of 0, then you print the X. If you have any X that's If you have X that's 0, then anyway. Like, you get really nice, succinct, really clear code with pattern matching. Beautiful. Ugh, so excited. They're working on it. TC39, the committee that like adds things to JavaScript, is working on it. It's just going to be a little while before we get it in JavaScript. Whew. All right. Oh yeah, no null or undefined in Rust. How do you deal with null data then? Like empty array or what? I'm sure you do, you folks, but I don't know how. Option. Cool. So it's like an opt-in thing. Very nice. Cool. Anyway, back to the about routes. I don't want to get too distracted because I have limited time and I want to finish this. But yeah, no, Danny, that's awesome stuff. Thanks for telling me. That makes sense. It looks like these are mostly just the utility classes being used here. So I'm gonna make those utility classes. Let's see. Under shared, I had larger, large, medium, smaller. And all of these just have the same, except for body text, all of these have the same weight and whatnot as their title. So let's see, we have medium. Oh, what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this over. I'm going to copy these and I'm going to do some fancy multi-select to transfer them all over at the same time. So let's select on the dot. There we go. Command D on my keyboard. Let's see. Now I'm just typing in at the same time. Font weight, font size. Get rid of those var dashes. Let's see. Fonts, vars.font.size.larger, comma. Same thing on the next line. Vars.font.weight.larger. I don't use Vim or whatnot key bindings, by this is just native VS Code shortcuts. Do I not have font.weight. Oh, that's smaller. Does weight not have this? Oh, I must have missed the. Is there no smaller? Font weight small? Wait, so smaller is small, not smaller. That's confusing. Font weight small? I guess there's no font weight small. So no font weight, okay. Whoops. Cool. And then let's alphabetize these because I'm a sucker for alphabetization. Great. Yeah, I know that like in theory I should never feel bad about like not being able to respond to chat if I'm doing something, but in practice I'm like, you came here, you're talking, like I want to be responsive. Anyway, body text. So that's just body is font size, vars.font.size.medium, font weights, vars.font.weights.light, line height, vars.lineheights.medium. Okay, so whenever I see class name larger, what I really want is fonts.larger autocomplete. Body text is actually pressing Command L to multi-select all of them. Fonts.body. Whoops. Missed the apostrophe. The double quotes, rather. Large is fonts.large. Cool. So before I make about page text, which looks like the only style is unique to the about page, I'm gonna thanks for hanging out, DJ. Appreciate it. Gonna just check to make sure that the about page looks the same. Oh, and my local dev server crashed. That's not good. What happened? What happened? The build was canceled. Okay, well, whatever. Those sw.js servers worker, I'm guessing JS files. I don't know. Those have been spamming the logs. All right, and yep. I had previously, yeah. Some of these built-in smileys emojis for for Twitch. I'm like, yeah, I previously removed a like automatic adding of this gap, so I'm gonna have to add it in back here manually. But otherwise, the fonts look good to me. Yeah, so just a bit more padding that's missing, a couple rems. So let's add this in. So about.css.ts, just copy and paste over the imports. Export const text equals style. And what is about page text? Font size, vars.font.size.small. And margin, 1 rem, 0, 2 rem. 1 rem top, 0 horizontal, 2 rem bottom. Boom. And we also have a styles.text. We also have a link tag. Port star as styles from about CSS. So I'm gonna add a manual class name to link here. Class name equals styles dot a. For const a equals style text decoration underline. Beautiful. And yep, the underline is good. I just need to add the margin. So I'm gonna say, let's put this all in a div. Let's see if I can have class name equals styles.left. Let's see if that works. Export const left equals style display flex. I forgot what the default flex direction is. Gap 2 rem. Let's see if that looks good. Nope. Default flex direction is row. I should know that. I've done it enough times. Flex direction. I want it to be column now. Oh, congrats on unlocking the wave emote. Great. Not enough rem. Might have been 2.5 actually. Ooh, I see why I wanted it for only some of them. I don't like this, so that's not what I want. I don't want that. Let's put it padded. So let's see, margin 2. I think it was actually 2.5. Vertical. Where's that padding? So it's around these body texts, around these paragraphs. Let's do that. So p class name equals CLSX, fonts of body, styles dot padded. Class CLSX is like the standard class combiner. See if that gets us most of the way there. Yep, almost there. Just a little less padding than not prod, but that's fine. I don't really mind. And then team also is padded, it looks like. The team header. Where's the team? Fonts.larger, styles.padded. Why is your name green now on my stream manager, Danny? What did you do? Did you quit and rejoin? Curious. Yep, team looks padded. We're happy for you to join us. Might need more padding too. No, that is padded. You know, I don't really mind one way or the other. I guess team, I want more padding on top. Team, I'm gonna give this its own hullabaloo. Export const team equals style margin 5 rem 0. See what that should look like. Needs a little less padding on bottom. 5 rem 0, 2.5 rem. Close enough. Oh, that's cool. You can customize things. All right. Looks like the about page is converted. Yay. Let's get that in as it commits. Time check. I have to go for a meeting at 12:30. So I'm going to say I'm going to go another 10 minutes here. It's exactly 12:15 my time now. or just about. So if there's any last stuff y'all want to chat about, like topics to bring up, people you want me to raid that you'd suggest, let me know. Am I still planning on doing Tokonami? Yes, I definitely am. The tracking issue, look at that. I added it in. Thanks again, Danny, for suggesting. Oh, sorry, my face is all itchy today. But yeah, I'm probably gonna end up doing a stream for each of these things. That's at least 1, 2, 3 streams. Oh, I should edit in the vanilla extract PR link. There you go. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3 more at least. I'll probably want to do a couple more at least for vanilla extracts. It's like layers on top of it. But all right, we got the about app route that's converted. Let's go to add. It's our add page. Add. Wait, others? Yeah, there is. Add main and such. Add single D. CSS TS. Let's see what we got here. Add main, add image area. So I'm just going to call that style add. I don't know, I didn't call it just add before. There you go. And then background is actually vars.color.foreground. And then color is vars.color.background. It's like an inverted color from the norm, give or take. Alrighty. Import star as styles from add.css. Yeah, so the add page is, well, in theory, is like what we show on the presenter view. Oh my god. Do I need to pull from upstream? I thought we fixed it. Get pull ups. Get add all, get stash, get checkout main. Get pull upstream main? I thought we fixed it. Get remote v. Huh. Alright, I guess we don't have the fix. But in theory this should show. Oh! Yeah, it should show like the logo and then stuff. Okay, I'm gonna. Did I not save? Wait, did I get the colors wrong? Color is background, background is foreground. Love to see it just randomly not work. Okay, it's only 3 classes, so I'm just gonna convert them all at once. Styles dots image area, then styles dot image. Export const image area. Kind of broke my rule of doing the component before the things it imports, but whatever. Wait, so image area has media width greater than or equal 700 px. Do I? Yeah, I do include the parentheses. Text align right with 50%, and this is why I missed out on the design previously, because I didn't remember to check whether there is a responsive one. Flex direction, justify content. Okay. Oh, and styles.image has width and height of 40 view heights in 700px. Add image by default has those as min 50 whatnot view width and such. Nice little computation there. Make it all nice and dynamic. And then we also have add image. So we also have responsive styles for 1400 px to make them bigger. So instead of 40, it's now 50. Okay. So that should be the add page. Everything except add text, which is another component I'll get to. Add text, add text, add text. Okay. That's not quite what I was hoping for. Let me just check, make sure. Styles.image, styles image area. Hey. Let's just undo a bunch so I can see what I actually changed. So by default style, let's see, add main is just add here. Items, blah, blah, blah. That looks good. Add image is 50 with the smaller of width and height default. Yep. Text. Okay, so then add main at 700 px with flex direction row, gap, blah, blah, blah. The image area gets its own thing now. Text line right and width 50%. Add image gets... Wait a second. Okay, yeah, it gets at 700 px 40 width and height. And then at 1000 px, nothing. But at 1400 px, add image gets 50. Okay, so that all looks good. So why is this all poopy now? What is going on here? This will probably be the last thing I get to. So we got this span, page add. Is there supposed to be a div with no image area? Background, blue. Why does that not have any styles? Why is image area not showing up as having anything? Let me try restarting my dev server. I'm confused. There should be a main and then a div, and that div shouldn't be empty. There we go. Okay, I just needed to restart dev server. Wait, is this a bug with if you just have responsive styles? Surely not. Very spook. Very weird. Anyway, add logo has some spooky shenanigans happening with it. Why is this styling not right? Where is this image's color coming from? Fill var dash dash color dash background. Fill var color background. Well, that's the invert of what it should be. So let's flip that. Color background becomes color background 2, color foreground is going to become color background. I'm just swapping the text. And then color background 2 becomes foreground. Let's see if that fixes things. There you go. That's what it's supposed to be. Very nice. Very good. Very happy. That's our ad page. Ta-da! A little bug in medium viewpoints. Whatever. It's basically only ever shown on either a phone or a widescreen TV. All right. So I'm happy. Ad is converted. Add an ad logo. And you know what? Just for the completionism in me, I'm going to do add text also. Add text.css.ts. Where export const add text is style, what is it? Add text, display, blah, blah, blah. And then export const, I'm just gonna make it its own style h1. Let's give it its nice converted props. Font weight vars font.weight.title. And then we also have a const p. Font size. Vars font size larger. Font weights. Vars font weights. 700 manually. That's font weight large is what it is. Dot large. Okay, so now we got some responsive props to put in. So the add text itself is responsive at 700 with text align left with 50%. And then the H1 is also responsive. It gets the margin 0. So close to finishing for the day. Similarly, the add text at responsive breakpoint 1000 gets oh wait, no, yeah, the P gets nothing. It's not the P. I'm in the wrong place. It's the let's see, the add text itself gets align content flex starts at 1000, and then I'm just going to do them both here. At 1400 we get font size 10 rem, which is just like a custom font size, not even in my tokens or anything. Oh no, that's for the H1. And then at 1000 it's font size 7 rem. And there you go. Add page. Whoop, that doesn't look good. Because I forgot to use the things here. Styles.add text, where we import styles from add text .css. Class name equals styles.paste to the tag name. H1NP. There you go. Oops. Converted. Hooray. Well, that's my stream. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. I'm going to go now. But this has been a pleasure. I'm Josh, for those who haven't met me before. I work full-time in open source on projects in the TypeScript ecosystem. Always happy to chat. Thanks, Danny. Really appreciate you hanging out in the chat, giving inputs, talking about Rust, all that good stuff. Y'all can reach me as Joshua K. Goldberg in places on the internet. And now I'm gonna show you my stream manager. We're gonna go raid someone. And out of them, TypeScript tea time. So I can't stay, but y'all, if you stay around and chat, please do tell tea time I said hi. Anyway, see you around.